The Galactic Combat Academy's Training Hall 7 had never witnessed such chaos. Instructor Zixthal, a towering Krellian with obsidian scales and 4 muscular arms, stood frozen as his carefully planned demonstration spiraled into disaster. The containment field flickered ominously, and through its failing barrier the nightmare emerged. It was a creature of legend, a writhing mass of shadow and hunger that the Krellians had discovered on the death world of Mortis Prime. 10 feet, of pure malevolence with tentacles that could slice through battle armor and a maw that could swallow a grown Zentaurian whole. Its very presence made the air thick with dread, and its subsonic growls sent tremors through the reinforced floor. "By the 7 suns," whispered Cadet Veltar, her blue skin paling to an almost white shade. "That thing will kill us all." 23. Cadets from across the galaxy cowered behind overturned desks and training equipment. The nightmare had already destroyed half the room's combat drones in seconds, its midnight black hide absorbing their energy blasts like they were gentle raindrops. Instructor Zixthal reached for his emergency beacon, his training forgotten, in the face of this ancient terror. But one figure remained perfectly still. Human Cadet Marcus Chen sat in the front row, apparently unbothered by the apocalyptic scene unfolding before him. While others screamed and fled, he merely tilted his head and observed the creature with the same expression he might wear while watching a mildly interesting documentary. "Attention all units!" Zixthal's voice boomed through his communicator. "Code Black Nightmare breach in Hall 7. Immediate evacuation required." The creature's attention snapped to the instructor, 6 eyes blazing with predatory intelligence. It moved with impossible speed for something so large, tentacles whipping, through the air where Zixthal had been standing milliseconds before. The instructor rolled behind a barrier, his scales slick with perspiration. "Fascinating," Marcus murmured, still seated calmly. "Look at that musculature adaptation, and those movement patterns." The nightmare paused its assault on the instructor, slowly turning its massive head toward the human. Other cadets held their breath, certain they were about to witness their first death in training. The creature's tentacles rose like cobras tasting the air, seeking the source of the calm voice. Marcus stood up slowly, hands in his pockets, and walked toward the beast. "No, human," Zixthal shouted. "Stay back. That creature has eliminated entire battalions." But Marcus continued his approach, seemingly oblivious to danger. The nightmare lowered itself into an attack position, muscles coiling like springs. Its maw opened, revealing rows of crystalline teeth that could shred metal. "Hey there, buddy," Marcus said conversationally, stopping just outside the creature's reach. "You look pretty wound up. Rough day?" The nightmare froze. In all its millennia of existence, across countless worlds and battles, no prey had ever addressed it so casually. Its 6 eyes blinked in confusion. "Yeah, I figured." Marcus nodded sympathetically. "Stuck in that little box for who knows how long. That's gotta be rough on a big guy like you. You probably haven't had proper exercise in ages." He crouched down, still maintaining eye contact with the creature. "Tell you what, big fella, you look like you could use a good walk. What do you say? Want to stretch those legs outside?" The absolute silence that followed was deafening. Every alien in the room stared in disbelief as the most feared predator in known space tilted its head like a confused pet. "I know this place is pretty cramped," Marcus continued, gesturing around the destroyed training hall. "And honestly, the lighting is terrible. You're probably used to wide open spaces, right? Fresh air? Room to really move around?" The nightmare's aggressive posture began to relax. Its tentacles lowered slightly, and the subsonic growling quieted to something, almost like a purr. "That's what I thought," Marcus smiled. "You're not a monster, you're just frustrated. Been cooped up too long." He slowly extended his hand. "I'm Marcus, by the way. I've got a dog back home who gets the same way when he doesn't get enough exercise." Instructor Zixthal watched in horror as the human actually reached out toward the creature. But instead of striking, the nightmare leaned forward, allowing Marcus to gently touch what might have been its forehead. "There we go," Marcus said softly. You're just a big sweetheart who needs some attention, aren't you? The creature's response was a sound no one had ever heard before, something between a purr and a sigh, filled with what could only be described as contentment. Marcus, Zixthal whispered hoarsely, what are you doing? Making a friend, the human replied without looking away from the nightmare. This guy isn't evil. He's just been misunderstood. Haven't you, buddy? As if in response, the creature gently nuzzled Marcus's outstretched hand. So, Marcus said, straightening up and looking at the stunned instructor. Is there somewhere we can take him for that walk? Maybe the biodome on level 5? I bet he'd love to see some real plants for a change. And that was how the most terrifying creature in galactic history became the first registered emotional support animal at the Combat Academy, and how Marcus Chen accidentally revolutionized interspecies relations by treating the universe's greatest nightmare like a homesick puppy who just needed a friend. Later, when questioned about his methods, Marcus would simply shrug and say, sometimes the scariest-looking things just need someone to show them a little kindness. Works the same way everywhere in the universe. The nightmare, now known as Shadow, never missed their daily walks.